So I'm out of the gym now. It was a good session. Feeling good. Still have a runner's high. And right now I'm going to this nearby place that I found that has healthy foods. Last time I tried their yogurt with oats and tropical fruits. It was good. They also have some other options, so I'm gonna look into it. They have fresh coconuts. So yeah, that's a good place for a breakfast after training. Yeah, gotta walk down to the street. Just 1 second. I really do like Hoi An though. I think I could live here, at least for some time. You know, as long as I have a gym and like training place, and ideally if there is a track and field and I have access to it, that's all good. And right now I'm almost there. Almost there. 1 second. Yeah, here it is. Okay, let me show you the place. So I gotta cross the road, and this is how it looks. You gotta be careful who's crossing the road. So it's good eats, coffee, breakfast, lunch, treats. So let me show you. It looks cool. I like the design, I like the vibe. Hello, can I have a menu? Okay, so let's see. Let's see where it's a good place to sit. Let me just see for a second. Yeah, let me see, like I'll choose in a second. I think that should be fine. That should be fine. Even better to New Zealand. Well, it's not at New Zealand, it's Vietnam. And Vietnam is lovely, I can tell you that. So, I just had my training. If you look up the previous live stream, you'll see that I did VO2 max training, and now I'm gonna have my breakfast. And I'm basically showing you my favorite place here. Just 1 second. I'll double check that I didn't forget anything. Yeah, I have all of it. I have all I need. Do you wrestle? No, I don't. I do boxing. I don't do wrestling. Whew. Man, it's a little bit hot here. I'm just wondering. I'm gonna bring the fan. Okay, that should be good. Let's see. And hi again. Have you been in New Zealand before? No, but I wish. New Zealand is one of the places that I really want to travel at some point. Hi, Uganda, Africa, that's cool. Actually, 1 second. Gonna move this one a little bit more. Yeah, thank you. That should be good. Okay, but now I'm gonna have a breakfast. So this is like a healthy place. Let me read out. They have house-made bread, but I'm not gonna eat bread. Smoothie bowls. I tried Aloha Hoi An, which is basically yogurt. A fruit yogurt with granola and banana, mango, pineapple, and some other fruits. It was good, but I'm looking forward to try something else. So they have granola oats, and they have some add-ons like egg and fresh veggies and cream cheese, avocado. I'm just wondering, they don't seem to have meat, but they have eggs. So I gotta get my protein somehow, so I'm gonna look for the highest protein option here. They have bagels like avocado cream cheese and classic avocado. Nutella heaven. Nutella heaven sounds like my the childhood stuff, you know, like when you would just get a bagel and put a Nutella on it, and it would feel like a heaven. Sourdough bread is okay, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, like I was watching this video about why, like the difference between the bread in the Europe and in Georgia, and like, you know, both cheap and good quality bread, and through American bread. Like American bread is made as so much add-ons, and they're like basically leftovers of the wheat, and it's like glycemic index is way higher, there's less fiber, and they just like, you know, make it look like a bread, but it's basically not a bread. So that kind of bread is not very good for you. But a regular bread, if you have it together with a source of protein and fiber and some vegetables and some carbs, and you have like a well-balanced meal, and you have a piece of bread or two, that should be fine, especially if that bread is properly made, has some components of fiber itself, definitely some carbs. It should be fine. Some vitamins as well. Okay, they have salads and sandwiches. Buddha bowl. Roasted pumpkins, spiced black beans, mashed avocado, fresh veggie, pickled cabbage, cashew sauce, homemade cream cheese. And if I add egg to it, egg fried or scrambled. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe that could be an option. And then we have pastas, okay, and bites. And Good Eat Market, please order 1 day in advance. Okay, that's like something that you have to order in advance. There's Asian Corner. Fresh spring rolls. Spring rolls. Let's see. Avocado, pineapple, fresh herbs, carrot, red cabbage, sesame, cucumber, creamy peanut sauce. Yes, it's vegetarian, except they have eggs. Korean dumpling. Okay, I think I'm gonna go to. Okay, for the beginning, can I have fresh coconut? 1 fresh coconut. Yeah. 1 fresh coconut. I always order coconuts in Southeast Asia. You gotta, if you never tried a fresh coconut, you gotta come to the Southeast Asian countries and try it. Okay, guys, I'm gonna respond to some questions. Sorry for kind of setting a little bit back. Do you have kids? No, I don't. Well, me and my husband don't have kids yet. Okay. Why you're so pretty? Do you wear makeup? It's just a good lighting, and I am just right after training, so this glow you can see like a highlight. This is sweat. So, and obviously I'm physically fit. I eat well, sleep well. That's basically it. I have my eyebrows done. I always had horrible shaped eyebrows, and finally I did like a very natural, permanent here in Southeast Asia, in Vietnam. Highly recommended, by the way. And I just have a little bit lipstick. Like, it's not even lipstick, it's just, how to say that? Like, I usually just like it the way it looks, so I put that lipstick and I put the napkin, and it makes like my lips a little bit more prominent. I'll be honest what I have. And I have a little bit of brown pencil on the side, that's it. But this kind of look, I usually just do that in the very beginning, in the morning, and it just enhances, you know, like as you can see, I don't have anything on my skin. Except sometimes if I have a pimple or something, I cover it up with corrector, but that's it. I don't use, how you call that thing that you put on your face. I don't use that. And I just do it in the very beginning, and it just sticks for an entire day. because you see, it does not fade. So yeah, that's how you gotta enhance your looks a little bit. Like there are ways how to do it. I'm also an artist, so I kind of know how to do it with the minimal effort. If you want to have a tutorial on that, I can make it for you, no problem. Okay, I think it's a Google Translate because it doesn't really make sense. It was Georgian though. Okay, hi. So I'm Georgia, the country. That's true. I'm from Georgia, the country. I train like it's my last training, but until next training session, I feel like I'm hangover. Well, you gotta be careful with that. You can't do that every day. Otherwise, if you do that a couple times a week, that can benefit you in many ways. But not only training constantly is the key. You gotta have a right periodization, guys. Hello from US. Hi, Mike. You have green eyes. They're hazel. Sometimes they're greenish. Sometimes they're brownish. Depends. What's the worst injury you ever received? I already responded to the question. I don't have major bad injuries. Okay, keep scrolling up, guys. Hi, Singapore with love. Hi. Привет. Hi. Indonesia. So many countries. And what country are you from? I'm from Georgia. Sakartvelo. Gamarjoba. Genatsvale. Kadimarchot. Those are all Georgians. If you know Merab Valashvili and Ilya Topuri, if you know Levan Saginashvili, Lasha Talakhadze, the weightlifter, Olympic weightlifter, those are Georgians. What do you think about the supplement Fire Blood? Fire Blood is the name of it. Like, I never tried it, I never heard of it. Ever had a concussion? Not that I recall. Not really. Okay. Show biceps, please. Yeah, this is my biceps. You see, it's not that much, but it's I'm training strength, and ironically, when you do a pure strength training, like, you kind of get lean, but you don't really grow that much. And it's perfect for me because when I'm, like, sitting like this, I'm a girl, like, I don't want to be like buff. I'm not in bodybuilding. It's not my goal to be, way too big. But I train strengths. I do pull-ups. I do deeps. I do different sorts of training for strengths. And here it is. Obviously, I do boxing as well. Interested in improving your American accent. Is it American? I don't know. A lot of people, it's hard for them to identify my accent. It's hard for me as well. I learned it in 2020. I really did. I did learn English by myself with my own method, without like any courses. I just did it by myself. Learned the best vocabulary, did a lot of translating, learning, and then I practiced. I got the job offer where I needed English, and then further down the line, I made a lot of foreign friends, and then I met my husband, who is he's Norwegian, but he's fluently speaking English. He has sort of American English, pretty much. And I also been learning from American TV shows like Friends and The Office. Love that show. Big Bang Theory. Some of that stuff I've watched seasons. Some of the stuff I just watched some clips. But essentially, I watched some British stuff, like The Crown, for example. And how was that comedy show? Like Miranda. It's like a comedy sitcom in UK. And obviously watched the Sherlock, and some Australian. It was Mr. In Between. That's I think only Australian show I watched. So I kind of picked up a lot of accents, I think, a little bit, and the Georgian and Russian languages also influence my accent, despite me trying my best to not to sound like from the Eastern Europe, like very Slavic accent. Maybe I should talk like this. Maybe that's gonna be more appealing. But anyways, no, I just joking. Hi, North Carolina. Okay, keep scrolling up, guys. Age, I'm 25 years old. What's your hobby? Singing, drawing, I think that's my hobbies. Hey, American girl. Not American, I'm Georgian, the country, not the state. You look too young to be married already. I'm 25 years old. I think I'm a consent adult. But thank you for saying that I look young. I think it's recorded. No, it's not. I always wanted to travel Georgia. You should. I think you will love it. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Do you get mostly desperate Indians on your stream? Actually, no, but like 37% of my viewers are Americans. And I'm very happy about that. Let me show you guys. This is a coconut. This is how the fresh coconut looks. They always give the spoon so you can eat the flesh as well. But I don't do that usually. The flesh is quite high calories. So this is how they dry it out and make like a coconut like sprinkles. This is how they make it. However, the water is very rich in potassium. It's good for electrolyte balance, and it is quite low calorie. It's like in this entire coconut, it's around 70 to 90 calories of the liquid, and it tastes amazing. I think it's one of my most favorite drinks ever. "25 is young." Well, it's I don't know. Like I think in Western culture, it kind of became like, oh, you got to do it later. But for women, it's a little bit even though the medical field is developing, and at some point, our lifespan and our fertility span is gonna expand. But let's be honest, like as a woman, you kind of want to manage to, if you want to have a family and kids. Like I'm married, but we're not having kids yet. And it's good because now we're traveling, we're enjoying our lives, we're doing great stuff together, building up our lives and the YouTube, the community, everything. And then at some point we have kids, and yeah, I mean, it's like, and it's gonna be like in this healthy timing for me, because how you call that? Like after a certain age, there are certain risks, especially for having a first child ever. And yeah, it's just a medicine. This is just how biology works, and you gotta be careful and aware of those things. I'm learning Russian. I would like to travel to Georgia and Russia. I mean, that's cool. Well, even though Georgians are not very fond of Russian, and I think a lot of, especially younger Georgians, are going to talk to you in English rather than Russian, it's still a useful language. Russian is still a useful language in Georgia, especially with the older generation, especially in some villages, people know Russian. Show your hand tattoo, please. So this is a dragon, this is a female face, and this is a bloody katana. Because my tattoo master thought that would look cool, which he was right about. Is Georgia dangerous? Do I need a guide? Georgia, Tbilisi specifically, people say it's way safer than Europe, like France, and you don't have back snatching crime, at least so far. Like never ever. Like when someone tried to back snatch me here, they failed, but I was shocked. I was like, oh, things like that happen, because it never would happen in Tbilisi, where I'm from. Walking at night is quite safe, even for a woman, especially in central areas. And yeah, it's just being in the right circles. Right now it's a little bit, politically tense, but I don't think it really affects that much foreigners, to be honest. It's fairly safe. If you could have breakfast with anyone in the world, who would it be? Well, apart from my husband, because I love when we're having breakfast together. Mighty Mouse. I think he's cool. I think we would become a great friends. I think he's very cool. And yeah, Dimitri Johnson. I don't know, there's so many other people too, but that's the first person that came to my mind. Your flawless white skin is sharing, glowing. It's a combination of Google light and sweat. Guys, this is a sweat, and it's dried out sweat. Hey, beautiful, how are you? Thank you. I hope you're doing well as well. Your English is so strong. What other languages do you speak? Russian and Georgian. So I speak Russian, Georgian, and English, all fluently. Looking forward to learn Norwegian. At some point, we're gonna spend quite a lot of time in Norway, because my husband is from Norway. So I know a little bit, and I started a little bit, but then just refocus on some other stuff. Anyways, Norwegian, and I would love to learn Spanish at some point. Another big language, quite widely spoken in the world. Politically tense, which country is not? Norway, I guess, is not. Yeah, Georgia. Georgia is one of the countries that is this is a Western influence versus Russian influence, and inside of the country you have two parties. Also, rather this party or that party. One party is pro-West, another parties. They don't say they're not pro-West, but they act like they're anti-West. And anyways, so it's tricky. It's tricky everywhere, I guess. You always wake up beautiful like that. I wake up like a raccoon. My husband calls me raccoon or raccoon. And I go, oh, I always wake up like this, with my hair up, and it just, but I can tell you guys, I'm like a guy when I just, splash the water and just wash my face with the soap, all done. And obviously, just a little bit, a little bit color, giving a color to my lips, a little bit pencil. Sometimes I don't even use that, and that's it. So I don't need much. But when I wake up, I'm literally a raccoon. Norwegian sounds hard. It's what I know from Norwegian is how are you? Hvordan har du det? Then jeg håper du er glad. Or du er bra. Du er bra. I hope you're well. So yeah, it's not that difficult, but it requires some learning. It looks like my future well, I wish you to have a future life looking like me, but I'm already married. You're very attractive, and I speak Russian, English, and Spanish, and Gamarjoba. Oh, that's impressive. Sick tattoo, thank you. Are you a gym trainer? Are you a gym trainer? Anyways, just joking. Are you a gym trainer or barista? I used to be a gym trainer, and my sister is barista. Hello from Canada. Hi, Canada. Hare Krishna. No, that's first time in the chat. How your day going? It's going great. going great. I had my training. The last live stream, I just been in the live stream like 20 minutes ago, and I finished my VO2 max training, and I'm feeling great. It didn't feel great in the high intensity parts when I almost wanted to cry and throw up, but now it feels great. And I'm having my coconut, but I still didn't order my breakfast, so I'm thinking to try a Buddha bowl with eggs or aloha. Like you get the sweet breakfast again. I'm not sure. Still thinking. Where are you from? I'm from Georgia, Sakartvelo. Like the dragon that you think you can. Your smile is gorgeous. You should smile more. It's getting better with braces. You look like the actor Gabe Horn's sister, I swear. I don't know exactly who is that, but I'll look it up. My birthday is coming. Well, happy birthday in advance. Well, I'm Alec. I'm from Russia. Live in Brooklyn now. Where do you live? Oh, that's cool. That's quite a journey. Right now, we live for a few months now in Vietnam, in Nha Trang, and now we're traveling a little bit like Da Nang and Hoi An. This is the area we're at. But we travel now a lot. So now, in the end of this month, we go to Kuwait, stay there for 1 month. Then we go to Georgia, stay there for some time. Gonna try to apply to U.S. visa for short-term visit. And if I get approved, we're gonna most likely come to U.S. for a few months for some like business purposes, due to our friend's invitation. And yeah, I mean, it's a lot of traveling in the future now. You speak Russian? Yes, I do. I love gay porn. Oh yeah, I'll look it up later. I cannot just leave the stream now, but I'll do that later. Where are you from? I'm from Georgia, as I said, Sakartvelo. I always wanted to visit Georgia. The scenery looks awesome. You will love the nature. Like even when I get back to Georgia, I'm invited to my friend's house, one of my best friend's house, in Kakheti. Me and my husband are gonna go there, and I'll show you more of the culture in nature, and also gonna hopefully get some chance to get to the mountains. I have a lot of friends all over. I have my godfather's family own like a winery and a guest house in Racha, which is one of the beautiful mountain regions. Then there are like other places like Smanetia. So all the spectacular mountains you see, like from those videos, it's like rather Svaneti, Racha, Kazbegi, they're like those areas. And I will show you myself as well, and depending where I'll end up while being in Georgia. That's awesome. You're in Vietnam right now. The people are very hospitable there. They really do. I think they're very chill. They're very nice. They're very polite. And yeah, they were like, sometimes they can get pissed, and it's interesting, you know. The way how they raise their voice, like very, very interesting. But mostly they're very helpful and very hospitable, as you say. Hi to you, Hamin. Okay, guys, just one thing, please don't spam. Okay. Yes, what is behind me is the bar, basically. Georgia and Switzerland are my top 2 countries that I want to visit. Oh, that's cool. I mean, Switzerland is also one of my top countries, like Norway, Switzerland, New Zealand. There are some places that I really, really want to visit. But I appreciate that Georgia is like on your top list. That's cool. Okay. Cheers from Brazil. Hi to Brazil. The Independence Day. Well, depends which country you're at. What do you usually talk about? I usually train and talk. They talk about boxing. Usually we end up talking about UFC and MMA and upcoming fights quite a lot, like DDP versus Hamzat. I talk about health, both physical and mental health, and as much as for just the regular people, for athletes as well, how important it is to look at it a little bit long term. Like active sport shouldn't be a hardcore sacrifice that you sacrifice your entire life to it. It should be like you should look at it as the phase and important part of your life. And that phase, you have to sacrifice definitely certain things, but you also have to look at how to maintain your longevity still. And there are some athletes, like one of the people who come to my mind, like Bernard Hopkins, like one of the all-time best boxers, and the guy is the oldest champion. And he unified, he became the oldest champion at 48 years old, and 49 years old he unified his titles. And the guy he looks great, he feels great, and he's been talking about, how to, balance and maintain himself, health-wise. So, yeah, this is the topics we're talking about, usually here on my streams. Okay. It was enough to mention DDP, Hamzat, that people starting to spam. Who you got? I leaning towards DDP, but it's not like, it's 100% DDP. I just think DDP is going to survive Hamzat for first 2 rounds and he's going to wear him out. That's what I think. But that also means that if Hamzat applies a significant damage in first 2 rounds, that helps to slow down and to make DDP physically hesitant, then I think Hamzat can pull that fight off. But DDP stamina is better, I think, and his ability to escape dangerous situations, turn around the fight, use this unorthodox, DDP by piano and DDP by dropping the banana peel, all that kind of stuff combined, makes him very hard fighter to deal with. Obviously, Hamzat's going to be one of the hardest fights for him as well. And as I said, I'm leaning towards DDP, but it's not 100%, okay? I'm Brazilian. Okay. Is Usyk the greatest heavyweight ever? I would put him in the top 10 ever. Okay. The general suffer from the bad breath. Do you mean stinky breath? Or maybe in the mornings before hydration. Say 5 tips for beginners regarding training. Well, just get to the environment where you have surround yourself with the right people and right environment, and just start doing it consistently. And try to get an accountability body or a coach or someone that's gonna keep you accountable, especially in the beginning, and just do it. Do it consistently, and it will get all together. As much as I love Hamzat, he didn't prove himself against Burns and Usman. DDP wins. Yeah, Burns was, I think, the first fight that showed the weaknesses in Hamzat's style. And it's okay, people want the boogeyman who dominates. He's still a great fighter, but he's a human. And there is always, sometimes to clash a style against the style. And Burns is way shorter. Burns survived, significant damage and applied that damage back. And that's the thing, even though, he was at that point, there was the Hamzat tried to put the fight in the ground, but Burns was able to get up, and they had quite significant exchanges in the striking as well. So, yeah, it just showed that he's not invincible like anyone else. Okay, John Jones has the fights that prove that he's not invincible. Yeah, he won by decision and he's unbeatable on the record, but it's just there's always someone younger, there's always someone more, or rather more experienced, there's something decent, there's someone who has better cardio, someone has this. Like I always put my bet on the stronger. When you have a fighter who has, both fighters have a good like a balance between they're both hard punchers, they're both skilled, they're both strong on the ground. But also on the top, one of them have a stronger stamina. I always put my bet on the stamina. I think people don't understand that. They sometimes pick a beautiful technique and impressive performance over the endurance and stamina. But it wins. Like Merab's case, the reason why Merab wins, apart from obviously he's evolving. I think he quite evolved over the years, and he became a little bit better in striking. But he's not the best striker. He's not the best wrestler. But he's extremely strong, and he's extremely endurance. So that's why DDP to me. What's your favorite countries you've been to so far? If it's too hard to choose, what are some aspects you love about different countries you've been to? I haven't been in many countries. I started traveling together with my husband. I've been in Ukraine, in Russia, in Turkey before, and like Cappadocia. That was like in my childhood, and I've been in quite a few cities, like in quite a few cities in Ukraine, like Kiev, Lviv, Kharkiv, Odessa, Berdyansk, and it was a very interesting experience. I was in Russia, in the border with Kharkiv, Belgorod. That's the only place I've been in Russia. And sorry, I'm lying. I've been on the competition-wise. We went to South Ossetia, we went to Chechnya, Grozno, and Dagestan essentially on the competition. So I've been in that part as well. But then. Since we, like me and my husband are together, we went to Cyprus, we went to India, a few cities, and we went to now South Asia, so here Vietnam, and Philippines. We've been in the Philippines, so those are the only countries so far I've been in. And it's nice, all of them have something to offer, and it's been an interesting experience and unique experience in each of them. Terence Crawford versus Canelo, who you got? I think Terence is gonna outbox Canelo, but that is also 100%. Like I don't want to sound like, oh, Canelo is a great boxer, very very dangerous boxer. Crawford is very skilled, very high IQ, and I just think he outboxes him. That's how I feel. You really like DDP? I like DDP. I like Khamzat too. You know, I respect both of their ways past. The reason why I'm talking more about DDP because I don't understand the disrespect towards him as a fighter from people. They're like, oh, DDP, this and that. Like, that's a little bit like a fanboy mentality. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. You gotta give it credit. Like, for the God's sake, the fighters give a respect and credit to each other before the fight. Like who you are, and not to do that. But that's what people do. So that's why I'm talking a little bit more about DDP. That no, DDP is not an easy match for Khamzat. And saying for DDP, it's also not Khamzat is not the easy match. It's just it really depends how the fight goes. As I said, I already said the potential scenarios. Favorite boxing movie? I mean, Rocky, obviously, but also Rocky, like with the Dolph Lundgren, that part. And I like the Southpaw, where it was Jake Gyllenhaal. That movie made me cry, actually, but it was emotional. Khamzat always gets overtrained. This camp worked on stamina and supposedly didn't get overtrained. Well, yeah, hope he didn't, because I want Khamzat to be at his best shape. I don't want to watch the fight where one of those fighters are like, you know, did the wrong training and that kind of stuff. So I hope they really changed it, because we know examples like he's actually close friends with Darren Till, and Darren Till is a good example of a downfall even before Reza, like getting to the top. this downfall happened because one of the big reasons is because of his training camps. Like he's a brutal training, not enough recovery, where like basically causing your body to fall apart over time. That's not like, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, you have a goal as a competitive athlete, but you gotta watch that. You know, you gotta put it in the perspective of longevity as well. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. You lost me here. Fighting is not my thing. Paka paka. Okay, have a good day. That's fine. You're always welcome to come back. Why nobody talks about Aspinall and Gano? Because DDP comes out is literally tomorrow. That's why. Like, trust me, Aspinall and Gano gonna be a big conversation topic after that fight happens. How about short introduction? Well, my name is Diana. I'm Georgian. I'm married to Norwegian. His name is Chris, and we're traveling around now. Right now, we're in South Asia. My YouTube is about training, boxing, sprinting, lifestyle. You know, streaming about. Like, I stream my trainings, I stream some talks, I stream some specific topics. Etc. I make some videos as well, and yeah, trying to grow my channel and spread, like, leave something positive out there in the world. Do you prefer to see a fight or do a fight? Well, it's both is good. I also think that Whittaker won second fight with Adesanya. Yeah, it could go both ways, but yeah, it's when the fights are very close, it can go both ways, but it's like always hard to say which one who won. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the positive comments, guys. I appreciate it. Carlos Preds, Edson Barbosa, and MVP all getting highlights reels knockout Saturday. Yeah, look, like, again, it's an exciting card. Madame, if you're looking very beautiful and smart, I love you. Thank you. Reyes beat Jones. Yeah, that can go. That at least that fight showed that Jones is, like everyone else, despite being a great fighter, one of the greatest. Like, let's be honest. Like, Jones is, if we put all the controversy aside, if we just purely assess his fight, but like undisputed, like undefeated. But that's the thing. Like, I believe Race showed that, like, Race Jones fight showed that, yeah, Jones sometimes doesn't perform that way, and someone can win. So I think Jones' legacy being guarded very hard by UFC, by Dana, by Jones himself. So, that kind of becomes way too careful to me. Where did you learn English? I learned it through YouTube, through translating the fitness and science articles, learning the words, writing down the advanced vocabulary words, and just learning. Like, intensive course, I didn't take any course, I just did it myself, but like intensive course, 3 months, 5 to 7 hours a day, every day. All UFC fighters are human, there is always someone better, I agree with you. I mean, at the end of the day, this is how it happens. What I respect about fighters is that they don't have this, I mean, you do your best to be undefeated as much as you can, but like, that's why I like Volkanovski. His fighting streak was great, and then, okay, he lost to Ilya. Was it the first time he lost? I don't remember if that was exactly, but he comes back and gets back the featherweight title against Lopez, and he still shows that he get it. He has it. He can be a champion, and that's what I respect about fighters when they come back. Like in DDP when he lost to, actually I forgot who he lost to, but like he avenged all of his losses. So to me, that is better than just trying to be undefeated, but really, really having a controversial fights and really, be ignorant about it. Good morning, boxer. I started exercise today. Will be my 4th day. The warm-up pain is in the beginning is getting less, so now ready to gym harder. Well, that's good. Always make sure that you let yourself recover properly. Okay? There is no rush. You don't have to go train hard every single day. It's just gonna make your body fall apart, and also create the resistance in your brain. Your brain not gonna want to do it to your body. Just train 2-3 times a week, like a hard training, hard sessions. Relax, rest. Even in the beginning, there can be a couple times. And be active, stay toned daily. Do that, like do low impact cardio every day. Do shadow boxing if you do martial arts. Do shadow boxing, technique training every day. That's mobility training every day. You can do that as well. Stretching and like pain release and myofascial release, you can do every day. But like hard sessions, just do 2-3 times a week, and you will see you're gonna have a good progression. The brightest star is burnt out the fastest. Yeah, that is a common case. I like bare knuckle fights. Bare knuckle fights, not really fun. But one thing that I really dislike more than bare knuckle fights is the slapping contests. Like, that is retarded. Love the accent. Where are you from? I'm from Georgia, the country. Sakartvelo. Show us some fighting moves. I have a thing behind me. Yeah, not now, but you can rather watch up some of my videos, or I'll do that on the next live stream when I'm actually gonna do from like a training. You're such a great fighter and you're strong, so how do you manage to remain beautiful? Well, I haven't done fighting, even like a light sparring. At least, no, I did some light sparring within the, like here and there, but I haven't done like a proper, like a heavier sparring or fight for 2 years now. And well, I'm getting ready to it, but I'm also trying to build myself. Like I don't want to be just be punching it, like do the exchange. You're gonna be able to take that punch, but boxing. The beauty of the boxing is you gotta learn how to do a proper, solid defense, and that's what I've been working on my stamina to actually being able to just out endure my opponents. I'm working on my footwork. I can be bouncy and comfortably bounce for at least the entire 3 rounds. I'm talking about amateur boxing. If I decide to go to pro, and for pro boxing for women, it's 2 minutes. For like an entry level is like a 4 rounds, 2 minutes. Of course, I'm gonna increase my endurance training to apply the amount of rounds that I can be comfortable in. The maximum is like 10 rounds for women. So that's what I would do. But yeah, so far I haven't been hit in my face for some time. But I'm not planning to be really punched that heavy. Like I really train quite a lot on the defense and like mirroring and using my hands as a shielding, all that kind of stuff. Thanks for advice. You're welcome, and keep it up. You gotta be proud of yourself, because a lot of people don't even start, and you started. Does being a redhead give you social anxiety? No. I'm also a redhead by the choice, so I asked for it. What is the best way to describe a weave? Let me show you. I think I have a space to. So weave, I always forget in English, it is like a roll, yeah? So this is the weave, yeah? So what you want to do is, if you just do it slowly, obviously, the movements, you can put the target, the very good way is just to have a rope, and you just have to weave under it, okay? But when we do that on the pad, sometimes people are like, they have a problem with like coordinating it. I always say that in the beginning, you just have to learn how to turn off your legs. You see, I'm not just doing 1, 2, I'm doing like boom, up, okay? So then let's say you want to do it to the left side, you do bump and roll up, okay? So instead of just going down and up, you do bump and roll up to the other side. Bump, roll up to the other side. And then boom. And obviously you just practice it and keep getting better. Do you have favorite food from the different countries? Well, in India it's a butter masala, and in Vietnam there's some foods like there's a dish called bun cha. I really like it, like spring rolls and just basic rice and chicken and that kind of stuff. I really do like very simple Vietnamese food. Pho is good. In Georgia, I think my favorite is khinkali. Appreciate it. Thanks for the lesson. Bill, she's married. Yes, I'm married, and when I said I'm asking for it, someone said about my redhead, oh, that's the being redhead giving you social anxiety. And I said, no, I'm a redhead by my choice because it's not my natural hair. So I asked for it, like whatever, social anxiety. I'm like, being a redhead, no matter what, that's my personal choice. That's what I meant. Didn't sound exactly well, maybe, but sometimes I have some, how to say that? Like when you're a native English speaker, there's certain like ways of saying things, and there are certain phrases that you like it can mean slightly different things, and sometimes I fail at it because I'm still not familiar with everything. Everyone's focusing on different stuff, yeah. I think as we all should. You fight professionally. I'm looking forward to get back to competitive fighting. Though I'm not sure, do I do amateur boxing first or professional straight away? Professional record, started building a professional record might be more convenient to me because we travel a lot and we have actually friends who are doing promoting, all that kind of stuff. So we could just organize that kind of stuff. But yeah, basically. But I'm looking forward to get back to the competitive boxing. Who's your favorite boxer? Mike Tyson, like all-time favorite, like number one. Then obviously Roy Jones Jr., Bernard Hopkins, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Sugar Ray Robinson, and there's so many like modern boxers. I already talked about it. There are quite many. Manny Pacquiao, one of my favorite all-time. One of my favorite boxers of all time. So yeah, that's pretty much the short list. Have you been to watch much professional boxing in your trials? Well, I rewatch quite a lot of stuff. So I rewatch older fights. And the newer fights, like, yeah, I watched Usyk Dubois, and I watched Pacquiao versus Barrios. That was the one that was recently. And now looking forward for Canelo versus Crawford. Usyk is your favorite boxer? Yeah, like Usyk is one of my favorite boxers, like modern boxers. Do you ever worry about long-term injury when fighting? Well, you gotta stop worrying about stress, like stress about stress, because that increases the chance of injuries and bad outcomes. So no, I don't. But I always stop at training if I feel something. I did that with sprinting as well, and that's why successfully I did. I got better at sprinting without getting any major injuries. Sometimes you get the strain, sometimes you just gotta stop. Sometimes you just stop the training and you can continue working on technique, do some like smart work. Yeah, that's how it works. And I think over the years I found like a good way. I really feel my body quite well, and I have a good management of my own body. So I think that's. I'm not really worrying about it, because whenever I feel there's something coming up, I just stop the training. I just make sure that I don't get to the point I get injured. Terence Crawford, the Canelo, most likely Terence Crawford. I think he's gonna outbox him, just like a chess game. I love khachapuri. I lived in Ukraine for 7 years and tried a few Georgian dishes and had few Georgian friends. They were all so helpful and sweet. McGill, that's awesome. Thank you, appreciate it. And khachapuri is a great dish, but I'm honestly not a fan. Like, there are a few khachapuris I like, but I'm not really a fan. There are some other dishes in Georgia that I prefer than khachapuri, but that's up to taste. Will you ever go to 3 years to Dagestan for wrestling? I don't think they're very welcoming of women in sport. I never seen a Dagestani female wrestler or fighter. It's better to come Georgia for wrestling and for judo for women. We have, in judo at least, we have a few female world champions and Olympic champions. Like now, Eterli Parteliani is one of the famous ones. So for women, actually, for wrestling and the judo, it's way more convenient to go to Georgia. But anyways, guys, 1 second. But anyways, guys, I'm with Terence Crawford wins. Yeah, we'll see that. Is your husband professional and a fighter? No. But guys, I gotta go now, okay? So I think we're gonna check out soon, so I'm gonna get back home, and I see you in the next live stream, okay?